The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Bow. Got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good, my boy?
What's happening, bro?
Man, I'm feeling like you today. Feeling kind of petty. But nah, man. What's good, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to the chat. Tyler was in this thing. What's up, Tyler? Sorry to have y'all waiting so long. We had to make a few adjustments. Things are, changes coming soon. Zay, what's good, Zay? Zay, I know you watched that fight. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about that fight. Because I got a question for you, and we're gonna get to it though. Kenny Mack was good. Andrew Paul's hub came in things, said, good evening, everybody. That's a throwback. That's a throwback from the Spaces days. Cousin Nikki in the building. Hey, cousin Nikki.
What's happening, everybody? Yeah. Chat live and popping tonight.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that. Chuck, what's good, Chuck? But do want to start this thing off right. It was a wonderful weekend, man. For I ain't gonna say, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I was at a track meet all daggone day Saturday. And it wasn't for Jay Sean this time. It's for little Dilly Mays Hayes, man.
Little Dilly same boat.
Yeah, listen. That boy has a lot of things. Smart is definitely one. I told him. I said, Dylan, he was telling me all the events he was gonna run. He said, Dad, I'm gonna run the 50, I'm gonna run the 100, I'm gonna do the 200, I'm gonna do the 400, and I'm gonna do the 4x1. I was like, you're not running the 400. He said, yes, I am. They got me on the 400. I said, Dylan, you will not do the 400. I said, you're not gonna run all the way around. Yes, I am. I said, no, you're not. He said, yes, I am. I said, okay, we got the list. He was on there for the 400. I said, you was right. He said, I told you. I said, okay, we gonna see. He did that 400.
That was a wrap for him.
Man, listen, I feel bad for all them little kids out there running that 400. Them 7-8-year-olds. Hey, yeah. He hit that. I'm talking about he started off good. He came around that corner wide open. I was like, he gonna burn out too fast. Hey, Dylan got to that side. He was grabbing that reel. I said, yeah. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the 400.
You ain't lying, boy. The 400 a man race.
Yeah. But man. That's proud of him, though, man. He finished. He did the 200 after that. He
did something after that.
Yeah, the 400 was the third one. He did the two.
Oh no,
no, not just that. He did the 400. Then he did the 4x1. Then he did the 200. Oh, by that 4x1 wide open, boy. He was the first leg. He caught out. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. That's my by the time it got to some of the other little kids, because they don't understand the baton handoff and stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
I
remember them days.
Here you go. Dilly, look, he called you Dilly same boat. He said you're an Olympian, but yeah, it was something serious though. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this translates to football, man. I know I'm seeing it in baseball, definitely seeing it in baseball. I'm looking forward to see how it translates to football. Before we get, really get going in this thing, do want to shout out our sponsors over at Believe. I'm sorry, Bet Online. My bad. Our sponsors at Bet Online. BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your basketball info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds, news, and info for everything March Madness and NBA this year, from the Final Four to the NBA playoffs. BetOnline is your sports information headquarters this season. If you love sports info, scores, news, and podcasts, you can find everything at BetOnline. We're always the fastest and the easiest way to get your betting info. Head over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BELIEVE, that is BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Yeah, man. So it was I can read. Don't be doing that. It was a great weekend, man. In Baton Rouge. Spring Game. Stars came out. I think a lot of people are I don't know what to say, man. I ain't gonna say impressed. I think a lot of people were pleasantly surprised.
You talking about with the team or what they saw?
The team overall, is it what they saw? All that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot to be impressed by, a lot to be happy with.
Ms. Nick can say, trust me, track helps. Jay ran and did the high jump. You saw that vertical. But shout out to young Jeremiah Hughes, 2'9" on the field doing his thing. I think the biggest thing was when they came out, offenses came out, and we saw Jaden throwing downfield. We saw Garrett making, check downs, going through his progressions a little bit, because Aaron Murray was doing the call. And one of the things he said was one of the biggest things about Garrett was he was going through his reads a little too fast and then getting happy feet and then forcing some throws. It was great to see him take his time, go through those progressions and make some proper reads. So it was like offense. Even so, Ricky Collins even came in and he threw a
no
pick.
Red shirt, no red jersey,
shirt, no red jersey. And took a pick, threw a pick. But in that, yeah, it was a pick six to Whit Weeks. I want to say that it was, even in him throwing that pick, I like what I saw out of him. I like it, his ability to, go in and take a lick, try to get yards and stuff.
I think he's still adjusting to the speed of the game a little bit.
Bingo. Trey Holly.
The biggest thing, hold on, but while we're on the quarterbacks, the biggest thing to me, JD put on some weight. Like and I know we don't want him running as much and all that, but when he does run, when things do break down, he has to use his legs. He looks like he's, going to be able to take more of those hits. He looks more like he has more of an NFL body than he did a year ago at this time. So I was impressed by what Flint has been able to do with JD in the weight room. But like you said, throwing the ball downfield, but not just that, but getting the ball out of his hands quick. He looked decisive. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he know where he wanted to go with the ball, and it wasn't kind of just pat, run. So I think I was really impressed by him. And Nussmeier, man, some of them throws, bro, you can't teach that touch and the way the ball placement he's got. So I think when BK said he feels like he's got two starters, I mean, you kind of saw it though, bro. I think they both gonna play and they both bring something to help this team win. So you kind of feel like you're in a good spot if you LSU.
Jaden's JD5 got, like you said, he got a little bigger. Look like one of them linemen wearing them single. No, I was just playing that.
Nah, he ain't quite that big yet.
He can put his whole name on the back of the jersey now. Nah, but yeah,
Man,
man.
I ain't gonna lie. I felt bad for some of them freshmen though, with no name on the jersey. Like Ricky Collins getting sacked, like actually getting sacked, and you still couldn't even know who he was. You know what I mean? Like it's funny though. But yeah,
this is. I do want to throw this out. Miss Nikki points. I said people are not talking about how Nuss and Daniel support each other and cheer for each other. When
that's true.
When Nuss threw that touchdown pass,
yeah.
the first person off the bench was Jaden. But people have always tried to pit them against each other. They tried to do that.
They want them not to like each other.
Yeah, because
it makes a better narrative for them.
Yeah. It was the same thing when Miles was there.
Yeah.
A lot of people were trying to put Jaden against Nuss. I mean, I'm sorry, Jaden against Miles, and then it became Jaden against Nuss. So yeah, it ain't no secret. We know what y'all doing. I want to start at. I'm gonna start out when pause up. We're gonna get there. Defense. First looks at
front seven look nice. Yeah, can't lie.
First looks at Spates and Perk out there.
Yeah, Perk's gonna be a nightmare blitzing. He's gonna be a nightmare blitzing.
People talked about, oh, you move him to the inside, he ain't gonna get to the quarterback. He ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna bet. I saw no problems.
Yeah. I felt bad for Noah Kane a couple times.
I if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Trey Holly got welcomed too. He got
yeah. I mean,
he ran through
who was back there. They all got
welcomed. Ran through him.
But I mean, the front seven though, I think Swenson made a few plays. Jackson Howard made a few plays.
Yes.
I don't know how to say his name. Made a few plays. No disrespect to that. I still don't know how to say his name. I can't say it.
I practiced saying. I heard him say it, and the guy the transfer from Texas.
Yep, him. I can't. No disrespect, but I can't say his name. But he was all over the place making plays.
God, I think that's something like that. Yeah,
sounds about right. But yeah, man, that would make a play. That front seven was making play, and that's without Mason Smith. You know what I mean? So just imagine when you throw that game record in the mix.
That's without Wingo.
Also, I forgot, him too. So you got two disruptors in the middle that you're gonna be adding to that. Man, but them guys, and that was against Will and Emery at tackle, and they were still getting back to the quarterback, making play. And I know some of it Jaden probably would have scrambled out of if it was live, but still the fact that you're getting pressures at least. So it's what you like to see. Now the secondary. I'm not gonna say I'm concerned, but they still building that chemistry. I think they still building trust that the person's gonna be where they say they're gonna be, things of that nature. So I think it's still a little bit of work in progress.
That one-handed catch by Lacey,
ridiculous.
First of all, amazing catch.
There wasn't a great throw though, if we want to be honest.
Yeah, great, amazing catch. I do want to say this. I want to throw two. I want to go two ways with it. First part, last spring, Kyron Lacey was the talk because he made the comments about the quarterbacks and stuff like that. Then he went to the spring game and basically looked like dog
poop. Couldn't catch a cold.
Yeah, it was bad. But came out this year. I mean, this spring game, it looked the part. But that one-handed catch and the miss on the tackle, did that not give you flashbacks? Marcus Williams.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Oh my God!
But that catch was ridiculous, though.
Ridiculous. Amazing catch.
It was ridiculous.
Amazing catch. Aaron Murray. He put out a post. I don't know if it was yesterday or today. I saw it today. But he said he believes LSU's repeat West SEC West champs, and they'll face Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. You mentioned his name, Trey Holland. I think we're gonna need to have some major production from the running game. Not necessarily from him, but whether it be Goodwin, him, Kane, Josh Williams, Emery, if he gets his situation settled, whoever it is, I think you can't have JD5, leading in attempts and being your leading rusher this year. So if we can have a little more balance on offense, I definitely think that won't be no question about it. But I just don't know how sustainable having an offense like we did last year will be for 2 years in a row. You know what I mean? Like I think eventually that's going to cost you in the SEC. So if we can have a running game to lean on, that way JD5 won't have to take all those licks and won't have to be our leading rusher. Then yeah, I definitely think we'll be in the mix. I mean, not be in the mix, but I think we should be the favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After seeing that, I have constantly said I believe that Florida State be our toughest opponent, and always the pushback is going to be, what about Bama? Paul's Hub brings up this: we got 2 starters, whereas Alabama has none. It's spring.
It is spring.
But I do want to say this. I feel good. Ooh, I feel good if Alabama is the toughest competition and we got to worry about that quarterback, either one. Ooh, I feel good. Listen.
What if you okay, just to what if you have to worry about Tyler Van Dyke?
Who?
Miami's quarterback.
I know who.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
Tyler Van Dyke.
What if you have to worry about Malik Murphy?
Malik Murphy.
Texas.
Malik, I know. Oh, I'm tripping. You know what I'm thinking about? I'm tripping. I got that Malik Murphy. I was finna say Malik Hornsby. That's why I was gonna say the last time we saw him,
Malik Murphy from Texas. That boy cold.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
But I'm not hearing smoke with him to Bama. I'm hearing smoke with Murphy to Florida. I don't know how much truth is into that, but
Malik. First of all, anybody that goes to Florida, if Malik Murphy went to Florida, I wouldn't necessarily. I would be worried a little bit more about Florida, but I'm still not scared of anything Billy. I'm not scared of anything Billy Napier.
Hey, Jason Brumfield, I don't have to worry about Nuss playing for Alabama next year, no matter what. Even if he transfers to Alabama, he has to sit out a year. I ain't worried about that.
That's true. Oh, my bad. That is very true. I don't see first.
I don't see him transferring anyway. But
the way Nuss had every opportunity to transfer, and I talked about this a couple weeks. It
would have been more beneficial for him to transfer in the fall than it would be now.
Yeah. From what I've seen, I'm not worried.
He don't have all his options open right now. If he goes to an SEC school, he has to sit out a year. And plus, a lot of teams have already found their quarterback in the transfer portal. If he was going to leave, he should have did it in December, like the other quarterback did.
Yeah. I will say this: Josh Sims from HBCU Nightly always talks about if you get a quarterback now, it's after the spring, there's a lot of even if you
ain't
got
really got a lot of hopes for your season next year.
Yeah. Even chemistry. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that have transferred in, or even came in January and ran the gauntlet or did very well like that. It's hard to think of any.
There's more that come in January that make a major impact. But if you come in May and you make a major impact, that's very rare. I know a lot of people are gonna point to Burrow, but
2018 is not.
But LSU won 8. They went 8-4 that year in the regular season, and they won the bowl game to go 9-4. So I mean, 8-4 is really not great. I mean, it's a decent season, but if Alabama gets a transfer quarterback and they go 8-4, ain't nobody from Alabama gonna be saying that they had a great season. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's hard for a transfer to come in the summertime and make a major impact.
Completely agree. All right, 8-4. I thought they won. I thought they was 9-3 for some reason.
They might have went 10. Oh, Andrew said 10-3. Okay,
10-3. Okay, yeah. Because it was they lost to Florida, lost to Bama, lost to Texas A&M. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I thought Texas A&M was the fourth loss. Okay, but yeah, 10-3.
I'm trying to think of who else. Like even last year, Jaden came in
but he came in January.
He came in January and he still took a little bit more time to.
Yeah, but coming in January, you know,
even because you know what I started thinking about. We talk about coming in January. Only person I could think of who did was Trevor Lawrence, but he came in as a freshman. He didn't transfer in.
Yeah.
But here's the situation with that.
Yeah, he came in as a freshman.
He didn't start them first 4 games.
He sure didn't. Kevin Bryant did.
So it still was a transition period to get him adjusted. So it's not, I'm saying that come in and start is not a.
That's a good point on the Trevor Lawrence one, though. I wouldn't have thought about that. That's a good one.
But we talked about all the stars being out. You had Burrow, you had Chase, you had not Shaq.
Marcus Spears was
Marcus
there.
Spears was there. Angel Reese.
You had them champions there.
Yeah, it was a lot of people taking pictures with Angel Reese and stuff, and was talking about how great it was to have her in the building.
Genius recruiting tactic by Brian Kelly.
Amazing. That's smart. I'm not gonna call the young man out, but there was a young man who told me they would go to LSU if they can get around Angel Reese. I had to remind that young man that he's 5'10" and a half. So I don't think she's gonna be looking your way.
She's not gonna be looking down at you, my boy. But
and all I heard was chill out.
Right. But I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, but like she was mentioned in the Young Boy song, so that just blew her up even bigger to to that age group. So she was already big, but right now she probably the hottest thing on campus, no matter the sport. So I mean, I think that's genius for Brian Kelly to have her around, and not just that, but she enjoying the VIP treatment. You know what I'm saying? How many women college basketball players get to be on the field during the spring game? You know what I mean? Like that's a chance that a lot of people don't get in and of itself. So it's
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's
can't
true
fault
story.
your brother. I don't fault him at all, but I had to remind him.
Yeah,
5'10" and a half.
Think about.
I gave him his half though.
Making that shot though, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I gave him his half.
You ain't got a layup right now. You shoot him from half court, my boy.
Yeah. Do you know? You know what else I heard? We can have D1 babies. First of all, fool. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, let's not go there.
I just don't.
Anyway,
some would say he came up short. Oh man, but man, overall, man, I was impressed with the team, man. From what I saw.
Breaking news.
Boom, 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 boom. Hold on, what we got?
4-star cornerback from LCA, Juwan Johnson, has decommitted from the University of Colorado.
Bruh. What? Deion losing them?
I'm just saying.
What?
I ain't saying he coming to LSU, but that's an in-state guy. Is back open recruiting.
Got to be more careful. I think that was interesting too. That spring game with the snow and stuff and the cold. So
I wonder how many people think they still going undefeated.
That's fun. Dang, Zay say he must have worn white socks to the weight room.
Bruh.
It's interesting. But man, yeah, it was like I said, overall, I was impressed. I was thoroughly impressed with the offense. Seeing seeing the quarterbacks, both quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, basically improve the way they did, it ain't nothing you can tell me, bro. That's gonna make me think any less of this team.
Yep.
If
sure.
God forbid anything happen with Jaden and Nuss has to come in, great hands.
Yep.
Jaden gets in there and we know we've seen what he can do. I think his, you know what I'm saying, it's improved this year. It's a lot of people gonna be eating crow. A lot of people gonna be eating crow. But yeah, man, your final thoughts on spring game before we.
Man, yeah, like you said, it pretty much matched my expectations. Not gonna say my expectations have wavered any going into next year. I still think this team should lose no more than 2 games and should be competing for a chance to be in Atlanta. And honestly, if they make it to Atlanta, should be the favorite in my opinion over Georgia. So definitely a playoff or bust in my opinion for this next season.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Yeah. Moving on, man. Let's talk this story. Golly. Several NFL players were suspended by the league for gambling. You had you had 3 or 4 that were
Jameson Williams was the big name.
Yeah, this is 3 or 4 suspended indefinitely. 1 suspended 5 games, and I think 2 were suspended for 6 games. Did I get that right?
The ones who were suspended indefinitely, they bet on NFL games. The rest of them bet on college games at NFL facilities.
What do you mean? So explain that to me. What do you mean they bet on at NFL? Talking about the games were played at NFL facilities,
No,
or they were
they
were inside.
They were in the facility when they placed the bets. That's what they get the suspension for. I understand it. No betting on company grounds. I mean, I get it.
Okay, I can get that.
I mean, drive 5 minutes down the road and place the bet. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't that. Like, they ain't saying you can't bet. Just don't place the bet on the company facility. You know what I mean? Like, and I know, like, there's the people making a statement where the NFL promotes gambling and, you know what I'm saying, all this kind of stuff. That's true. But check this out. Like, there's restaurants that promote alcohol, right? They even sell alcohol. But drink on the clock and see if they don't fire you.
You boy, if that ain't great point.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
excellent.
So it's like there's a time and a place for everything. You know what I mean? If you had an employee that you can drink when you leave, you know what I mean? But you can't drink while you're on the clock.
Yeah. Chuck says there are towers to pick up activities.
Yeah, they're probably on the company Wi-Fi. If you want to be 1,000%.
That's probably, yeah. That was probably it. Yeah. I do think it's silly.
I just don't see why you couldn't, drive home and do it when you got home, or go to a gas station on the way home, park at the gas. You know what I'm saying? If it's like if you gotta do it in a hurry, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know why you would take that risk of doing it on the clock.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, betting on college. Oh, you said they're betting on college games.
Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah. We'll talk gambling later. Basketball, man. Parlays. Anissa Morrow lists LSU in her top 3. Her top 3 LSU,
South Carolina and South
LSU,
Carolina.
South Carolina, and
USC and USC. Yeah. But I don't know where USC came from. Not South Carolina. We obviously know where they came from. But
of course,
the other USC, so they get long bets out the portal, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get, depending on which publication you look at, the number 1 player in the country, other than Michaela, Juju Watkins. And potentially And these tomorrow too. Like, when did they get good at women's basketball? Where did this come from? I mean, I know they got his history. Obviously, Cheryl Miller, Lisa Leslie. And they got history, but that's 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Like,
Agree.
I wonder if they, making the NIL play in women's. I mean, they got the money, they got the history. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just never really see their name with top prospects in recent memory, and then now three of the top, in the recent prospects, they get them all at the same time. So it's just very interesting to me. But I think LSU in a good spot. I think South Carolina the favorite, but I think LSU got a real good chance.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where she goes. I think she will be she's going to be a big pickup wherever she goes. But if she comes to LSU, you might can write LSU in the Final Four in pen. Well,
Yeah,
I say that
Sharpie actually.
with the what's returning with the young ladies that are returning, also with the predicted, who else is coming.
Yeah, I mean it's some teams that loaded up too.
That's why I didn't say championship, because it's
I'm with
gonna
you.
be hard
I'm with
to
you.
it's
I'm
gonna be
with you.
hard to repeat.
Louisville loaded up, bro. Louisville loaded up.
Louisville did, or yeah.
Yeah, and man, honestly, the SEC as a whole is loading up. Mississippi State getting key transfers. Obviously, South Carolina being South Carolina. LSU is who they are, But Tennessee is still gonna be good next year. Georgia lost Diamond, but I think they'll be back. Ole Miss Coach Joe ain't going nowhere anytime soon. So SEC, man, they loading up, and it's gonna be a gauntlet next year again.
Shout out to Coach Yo, man. Coach Yo be everywhere, comment on everybody's stuff, and like giving everybody props, man. I love, what I'm saying, all that she does. I'm gonna go ahead and say it before Miss Nikki jump in. UAPB alum Coach Yo doing her thing, man. So that's one of the those coaches that are not saying they may be in the same conference as your saying as your team, that you like, you just can't
help but the roof on.
Can't help but like Coach Yo, definitely that person, man.
So who is that coaching football for you on the spot?
Ooh, good shot. Good question. A coach in football that you just can't help but to like. In conference, right?
I mean, they ain't gotta be, but yeah, I mean,
if we're going in conference, it's Heupel.
Ooh, okay. Mine's Shane Beamer.
Shane Beamer is a damn good one. That is a good one. Actually, let me look at. It's funny. I gotta look at the
Clark Lee is another one at Vandy.
Clark Lee, he growing on me.
Yeah, if rest in peace, Mike Leach, he would have been my answer.
Mike Leach is
How could you not like Mike Leach?
Yeah. Overall, let's see. Now, if I got to look at overall, college football outside of the conference, let me look, man, because I gotta look at some of these teams so I can remember who the coaches are.
This one's hard. I like Mike Locksley.
Mike Locksley is a good one. Mike Locksley.
Chris said Jim Harbaugh.
What up, Chris?
In conference, Pittman, Mark Stoops. Those aren't bad names.
I don't care for Pittman. You know what I'm saying, overall, but nah, I'm good.
Pittman cool. I don't really care for Mark Stoops. Cristobal out of conference from Ms. Nikki. Cristobal not a bad one.
If I can name one that was, but he's gone now.
Who that?
He's, when I say gone, let me rephrase.
He's no longer coaching.
He's no longer coaching. Okay. Bill Clark, that was at UAB.
Oh, UAB, yeah, UAB.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you somebody I met personally that is growing on me. Coach Womack at South Alabama. I really like him.
Well, he got biases now.
I got a little bias on him, man, but nah, I really like him, man. He was like, it was good. So,
yeah. I'm trying to think, bro. I like Pat Fitzgerald at Northwestern, and I like Kyle Whittingham at Utah.
I like Kyle Whittingham because just how he always finds a way to ruin.
Yeah, everybody sees
Oregon,
pretty
yeah,
much.
USC.
It don't matter who. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kalen DeBoer is definitely on the come up. That dude is definitely on the come up.
Mm.
No, Chris, everybody does.
Boo! Hold on, I ain't even got a Chris. I ain't even got a boo.
Tomatoes.
I ain't even got a boo. Oh, where that?
Boo! Tomato. I'm throwing tomatoes.
Nah, definitely not, man. That's a good one. Good, Chris being man. Yeah, Chris definitely being. That's,
Coach Eddie Robinson Jr.
Oh, he was right. Yeah, he definitely one of my favorite. Hey, let's talk about NBA play. Hold on, real quick, because he didn't see it. Guess who won last night? The Lakers. Yeah. All right, good job. All right. So Philadelphia is the first team to punch their ticket to the second round, man. I
hate that, man.
They took Brooklyn out 4-0.
I hate that for Brooklyn, man. But they kind of didn't need to be there. I mean, they there simply because of what happened before the All-Star break.
No. Bye. You finna go? Okay.
They do it funny.
Yeah. Your mama know you in here? Yeah. She do? And you supposed to sleep for school, right?
No, mommy said I get 30 minutes.
So you chose to spend them 30 minutes with me?
No.
I appreciate
30
that.
extra minutes.
Yeah, you got 30. That's why I say you gonna spend them 30 minutes with daddy? That's what's up. That's love. What I was gonna say? Yeah, you said you hate that for Brooklyn.
Yeah, man.
Javon, I gotta see what's going on, man, with Cam Thomas, man. Why he ain't? I don't know if it's is it biased that we don't want? I mean, that we want him to start, and you know what I'm saying, or is it just like
he could score, but I mean, he got to play both ends, bro. Yeah. Honestly, that's been the knock on him since forever. He don't play both ends, especially in the playoffs. You definitely got to play both ends, of course. But so yeah, they swept them. Then Milwaukee.
It's 2-1 right now.
Yeah,
Miami
2-1 with no Giannis. I think that's going to be 4-1, most likely. Maybe 4-2. I don't know. Miami just ain't got enough, bro. They overpaid Kyle Lowry. Oh, they definitely overpaid Kyle Lowry. So that's kind of coming back. Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson. That's two overpaid players that they're not getting nothing out of, really. So
yeah. Let me ask this, because Miss Nikki did bring it up.
What you got?
The Knicks are looking good. They making some noise. Does it matter if it's Milwaukee or Miami? Because if especially if Giannis not playing, if New York keep playing like they playing, you already know. I said Milwaukee ain't making it. They're not making it to the conference championship.
Do you think the Knicks gonna beat them?
I think they can. Do I think they will?
I don't think they can, honestly. I'm just saying, I don't think they can. Milwaukee deep, bro.
Chris,
Milwaukee, like look what they're doing right now. I mean, Cleveland, totally different team. Cleveland built on interior play with Jared Allen and Mobley and them. Donovan Mitchell, they only really score, and they kind of been putting him in some bad situations, and he ain't been going off. So that's why they've been winning like that. Like
Chris
Milwaukee
they playing Cleveland. But that's Cleveland.
Milwaukee deep, bro. They got like 7 guys that can give you 20 on any given night.
Gotcha. But it's just, Chris, I don't know. Have you watched Cleveland play this year? It ain't like
They're not the
Cleveland.
same team right now, though, in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, I get that. And I think I said it's the experience. New York, I mean,
Yeah, that's
although
part of it.
albeit New York has gotten beat previous years, they've got a playoff experience though.
Yeah,
And it's not like and I get what you're saying about Cleveland. They're not. It's not Cleveland of 2 years ago.
no, it's not. They better, but like after Garland, who got banged up, after him and Mitchell, like who can you? If you need a bucket, who can you go to? You know what I mean? Like Evan Mobley, not really that type of guy right now. Jared Allen ain't that guy. They don't really have that guy who can go get them a bucket. If you look at the Knicks, they got RJ, they got Brunson, they got Quickly. I mean, Randall is having a horrible series. You know what I mean? But he still gets attention from the defense.
Yeah.
So they got more guys who, and that's what playoff basketball is. It's how can you create for yourselves, because you're not gonna get easy baskets. You gotta create, and they don't really have too many guys that can create. When Mitchell not on, the Cleveland got held to like 80 points. I mean, that don't happen, and you know what I'm saying. That don't happen because unless you don't have offense. But if you look at Milwaukee, they got Drew Holiday, Middleton. They got I can't stand them, but Grayson Allen. They got Joe Ingles. The Bobby Portis can knock down threes. Brooke Lopez can knock down threes. I mean, they deep, bro. You know what I mean? They got so many guys that can score, and so it's hard for you. If you're the Knicks, it's hard for you to keep up with it.
I'm gonna
Wouldn't
get
that be
them.
next round?
I'm gonna get them. Don't worry, we gonna get them. Hold on. Boston just took the 3-1 lead over Atlanta.
Yeah, I
Knew
seen
that
that
was called. I mean,
coming.
saw that coming. Yeah. Denver might be the next team to
They
punch
finna
their
sweep.
ticket. It's first quarter
They
9-5.
finna sweep.
Minnesota with
They
7
finna
minutes.
sweep.
So, but yeah,
They finna sweep.
Phoenix. Phoenix is basically
They finna win out because Kawhi hurt.
yeah. Now this series here, Golden State in Sacramento.
That was a series.
Chris, you saying that you do know that literally if Golden State and that they literally are paired to play in the next round if whoever wins out. So,
they play the next round.
I don't know. That's how I know you don't be paying attention. You just be saying stuff. But Chris, let me ask you this, Chris. I've been talking about Golden State all season. Everybody who been watching, I've been saying the same thing about Golden State all year. Yeah. What have I been saying about Golden State, Ant?
They can't win on the road.
They can't win on the road. And they literally almost lost the series today. Why do I say that?
Because Steph Curry calling the timeout when he ain't got one. Chris Webber.
Literally, if they make that shot, if Sacramento wins one, if Sacramento wins one, and he said can't win on the road, but you think that's gonna last? They're 11.
It's been lasting.
Hold up.
You got an 86 game sample size at this point.
Yeah, they literally lost. They were 11-30 on the road this season, and they lost the first.
They're 11-32 now at this point.
Yeah, and they lost the first 2 games on the road. So yeah,
11-32. I mean, that's not changing no time.
That's not. I mean,
but to his point, they only got to win one on the road.
But if they lose one at home,
Sacramento got home court.
Yeah.
So
Sacramento got just win.
It's winning home. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Golden State got to win one on the road.
Yeah.
But I'm saying all they got to do is win one though. But I think it's the next one. I think it's the next one, and then they close them out in 6. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want it to go 7, but
I say it's
at
7
the end in the second half of this game was the first time where I felt like Sacramento's youth is starting to get to them. Like they had Fox turned the ball over, come down next possession, bad shot. You know what I mean? It's just like it was probably like a 2-minute stretch where they kind of was just like out of sorts, and they could have tied the
I just
game up or took
realized
the
that.
lead. They could have tied the game up or took the lead, but Golden State was able to keep it like a 6-point lead.
I just realized that. We've been talking about Golden State.
He ain't been here.
He ain't been here.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden he hit Chris.
Because they 2-2. Yeah.
We're gonna put you on timeout. You ain't slick.
Yeah.
You ain't slick at all.
I know that. But yeah, they gotta win the next game, bro.
Yeah, they do. They do. And granted, I will say this. A lot of the stuff I was talking about Golden State was a little bit of a little bit of fatigue of the team.
Mm-hmm.
But like
it's true though. I mean,
but that win on the road stuff was that. What he was talking about them parlays. They blew a couple of them this year, and I knew then. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing though. They like, and another thing though. Draymond showed why he important at the end of the game. That block he had was huge, and I think they might have figured something out with him coming off the bench. We'll see how that plays on the road, because starting Poole gives them more offense, and if they could start the game better on the road, they might be, because that's part of the problem. They get down 20-8 or something like that on the road, and it's hard for them to catch up. But I don't know. That's a hell of a series, though. Hell of a series.
Now I will say this, because let me. Well, you know what? I'll come back to it. Let's talk about Memphis and LA. LA came out and put the stomp on Memphis last night. What's the dude name?
Dylan Brooks.
Shut up. Please stop talking.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think at this point his teammates are feeling like, dude, shut up?
Nah, they probably got his back. Man, talk your jump.
I don't know, dog. Because at this point, you're playing horrible.
Yeah.
And you over there poking the bear, getting, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be one thing if you was dropping 25, 30, you know what I mean? Yeah, you could talk because you're doing your thing. But you had like 9 points, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't. I don't know. I feel like at some point his team's got to be like, yeah, I got to chill out. What dude said? Japanese Jordan, man.
Wow. I do. So the aggression that they came out with, that the Lakers came out with last night.
Mm-hmm. I knew that was coming.
That was scary good. That was scary. Like, and granted, the Lakers went away from getting veterans to getting a little bit more youth role players, and it changed that completely.
7 points. My bad. 7 points. I didn't want to give him no more than what he deserves.
Yeah. That flagrant foul.
Yeah. And see, should he be suspended because of his history? You know what I mean? Like, there's been some sketchy stuff these playoffs, dog. Like, who gets suspended, who don't get suspended, who get ejected, who don't get ejected, and all that. But at this point, it don't matter. I said Lakers in 6. It's a wrap.
Yeah. Somebody, I was talking with my cousin earlier about he said Dylan Brooks want to be Draymond Green.
He does. But actually, you know what it is? So they dug up all his old tweets where he was talking about, he was basically a big Bron fan. I'm talking about big Bron fan. He fanboying right now. That's what it is. But he really can't come out and say how excited he is to be playing on the same level, on the same court as Bron for a series. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't come out with that. So this is his way of showing his, you know what I mean, how excited he is and to draw attention to it and all that kind of stuff. Is to basically be a heel.
He said diet Draymond. That's more like Draymond light. Literally.
Yeah.
So yeah. OVO Draymond. That's what he
Oh, bro, the grassy Draymond.
Man, that dude. But nah, it's just yeah, that dude. We started talking about, and I know you was on when you were on with Fox. Y'all had the top 5. Oh, I'm sorry, Mount Rushmore, top 4 villains of all time. And we were talking about my cousin. He's like, man, Draymond the GOAT. I was like, nah, Dennis Rodman. You know, he's like, nah, Draymond. And he's like, who got more rings? And we were talking. I said, man, I don't care what you say. And I looked
Dennis
it up.
Rodman got more rings.
I forgot about him. I knew he had rings. I forgot how many he had.
He got 5.
He got 5. Yeah. So he was like, okay, all right. Dennis got it. So yeah.
So what you think about what you think about the Charles Barkley? Do you think he a villain?
Yes.
Or was a villain?
Yes, Charles Barkley is very much a villain. He's still a villain. In a
that's
different
my point.
He's like corporate villain now though.
Yeah, that's my point. He's still villainous. It's just
the way he talk about the women of San Antonio is hilarious, but it's still wrong.
Hilarious.
It's wrong.
With the whole "I'm not a role model" thing when he was playing kicking the cameraman, you know, all that kind of stuff. He wasn't like. He's not like now.
Yeah. I want to go back to this. We talked about it. Miami, Milwaukee. We understand Milwaukee is the 1 seed, Miami is the 8. Is this if Miami pulls this off, is this the biggest upset since the Golden State over Dallas? As far as 1 versus 8?
Golden State over Dallas.
Remember that when Baron Davis put out Dirk and Dirk received his award at home?
I don't know because I mean you got the Giannis injury in this. That plays a big factor.
Okay.
If Giannis was healthy, I could agree with you, but I don't think this series is even a question if Giannis is healthy, honestly. And there was a Hawks team. I don't know if they lost in the first round though. They won 50-something games that year. I don't know if they won the first
recently.
Round. This was back whenever they had Jeff Teague, Al Horford, Paul Millsap. That whole starting 5 was all stars, and they didn't win. But Cephalosha got his leg broke by a New York police officer, and it was.
Yeah.
They was playing the Nets that series.
Gotcha.
But I don't remember what round that was in.
Gotcha. All right, man. Let's talk a little baseball. Just
do we have to?
Wee bit. When I talked last week about LSU, what they need to do to I guess get back into that first place, get one of them first one of them top 4 bids for the SEC tournament and get that double bye. They had to start winning some, sweeping some series. That started today, or this weekend. LSU got a much needed sweep. They got a big win on Friday night. Also, they went back to the Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. They got a big win on Friday night. They came back out, jumped out to an early lead. Dylan Cruz jumped out to an early lead by himself, hitting a 2-run blast and then a grand slam. And then you had a home run by Beloso, and then I forget how they scored the 8th run on yesterday. And then today it was kind of a back and forth matchup. LSU was in the top of the 9th, 2 outs, when Trubisky comes in and hits the 3-run home run to put them up 7-6. And then they close it out in the bottom of the 9th to go ahead and sweep the series. Much needed win. Finally sweeps a SEC series, so some of the fans can now, breathe a little bit easy. But yeah, man, I think they finally on the right path with that one. Or it was much needed. It was what they needed.
Yeah. So I got a question.
I got to answer. I think
is Dylan Brooks right now better than Alex Bregman when he was in college at LSU?
Dylan Cruz.
Yeah. What I said?
Dylan Brooks. That's why I was like, we're going back to basketball?
Dylan, man. All right. Is Dylan Cruz better than Alex Bregman at this point of their careers?
I think that Dylan Cruz is a better hitter. But Bregman's defense is what separated him. So
I know different positions, so it's kind of hard
yeah,
to
no.
compare the gloves and all
It's
that.
yeah, and I get that. It's just Bregman was, I think Bregman all around better player, in my opinion.
So offensively, you would take Cruz. Overall, you would take Bregman.
Bingo.
And defensively, you would take Bregman.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to be like revisionist history, you know what I mean, and like recency bias or nothing like that. But man, I just don't know if and it might just be because I'm thinking offensively, but I just don't know if Bregman was doing what Cruz is doing right now, bro. Like you said, he outscoring teams by himself. You know what I mean? From almost the whole game. He probably almost outscored Ole Miss by the series by himself. You know what I mean? So it's like doing that kind of production. I just don't know if we were seeing that from Bregman. I mean, I know Bregman was holding his own and was great offensively, but Cruz on another level right now, man.
I can't disagree. Yesterday was, he said he had 6 RBIs yesterday. With those two big bombs. Ole Miss only scored 4 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He outscored Ole Miss by himself yesterday. That's what I'm saying. For the series, it's probably pretty close.
Yeah. So I see what you're saying, but like I said, yeah, I can agree. I probably would take Dylan Cruz offensively, Bregman overall in the defensive. But you're absolutely right. It's definitely a worthy conversation. One thing that is a concern, I hadn't seen any news about it yet. Tommy Tanks, man, he left the game early today. He was on the bag on third base to I think at the end of the first at the end of the top of the first, but then he didn't come back out. So I hadn't heard any news. Hadn't seen anything yet.
Hopefully it was just a slight injury, you know.
Correct.
Stomach virus or something, you know what I mean? Something along those type of lines. Hopefully.
Gas. I take any of those acceptable answers. Yeah.
The boy had some tacos, you know what I'm saying? Night before, Taco Bell for lunch, you know, anything like that.
Yeah. I will say that pitching has been a concern earlier on in this in the season, especially in the conference play. That's actually a very good point.
That's a great point.
Pitching has been a concern. You are also playing against top opponents. When I say top 25 opponents, you will not see another top 25 opponent until SEC tournament play.
Uber. Yeah.
So with that being said, man, you might see your pitching improve. Yeah, get your brooms ready. You might see a lot more digestible or delectable. That's word. A lot more delectable pitching. So
it might be a lot digestible too for LSU fans. You know what I
mean? Yeah. But Paul's brought this up. He says it's too early right now. We've yet to see Cruz in Omaha.
Very valid point.
Very
valid point.
Marvin Mack in a bit. What's good, Marv?
What's that, man?
Yeah. We had to talk about Angel Reese and the men out the hub. Marvin pop. I was just playing. What's good, Marv? But hey, we talked about Tommy Tanks, man. Let's talk about another Tank. Tank Davis. Big fight against Ryan Garcia is probably the biggest fight so far this year. We got another one supposed to be happening.
Who?
Errol Spence and
Bud, they fighting this?
Errol Spence and Crawford supposedly.
I believe when I see it.
Yes, they supposedly have both signed the contract and supposed to be. But
when I see it.
Yeah, it was a big fight, man. This fight was well and very much anticipated.
Ooh, Devin Haney and Lomachenko fight.
That's the next one. Okay.
Oh, okay.
20th of May. Okay.
Okay.
We saw first of all, background of this. These gentlemen both bet their purse on this.
They sold it.
They both bet their purse. So loser was going home with nothing. Winner take all.
Which is even more of a reason why I don't believe it was a dive. But anyway.
We finna get there. I'm glad you Tank dropped Ryan Garcia in the second with a nice left to the face. Caught him off guard. I think at that point I was like, okay. I was like, Ryan Garcia might not be. I was like, he might be, bit off a little more into. I'm by no means am I saying that he gonna fall off from here on out. But that left caught him good. And then in the seventh, he took a liver shot.
Put him down, boy. Then
Garcia,
that boy at Kaepernick.
Yeah, Garcia took 3 steps back and took a knee and did not stand up until in time. But you mentioned it about the dive. A lot of people said that the body shot didn't look like it was, it landed clean, didn't look like it was that much, and he was out. He said it looked like he took a dive.
Man, to the people who think he took a dive, you ain't been hitting the liver like that before. Like that's and for people to say that that's a boxing thing, I could pull up MMA clips.
Yeah,
of MMA fighters getting kicked or punched in the liver and them falling to the canvas. Just the only difference is ain't no 8-second count. You know what I mean? So they getting hammer fisted after that. But yeah, that's honestly, bro, that's sat many a boxer down. That punch in that exact location.
Zay said he got hit with a liver shot. His body did a factory reset. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, like, go back and watch it. For those who don't, he got hit in the liver and his nose started bleeding. Like, do you know what kind of damage that has to be done?
I'm gonna tell you why I think a lot of people thought it was a dive. Because when they showed the replay, it was slowed down, so it looked like it didn't hit clean. I mean, it looked like he just brushed across.
It didn't look like as hard it was.
Yeah, it was a hard hit. But if you watch it in real time, like even if you watch it, because they slowed down was probably like 0.25 speed. If you even watch it at half speed, you can see it lands a little bit harder. He was down.
Yeah, he was hurt. But I'm kind of with my boy Zay. I want to see what Tank does next. Because it's either Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion. And I would love to see him and Shakur fight. I would love to see it, dog.
So, Shakur Stevenson
is my favorite fighter right now, dog.
So we had the argument. I ain't gonna say argument. We had to talk last night. Somebody said Tank is the face of boxing right now. I said Shakur Stevenson. It's like
I can't give Tank that. I can't give.
I said Shakur. I said here's the thing about Shakur.
I don't even know. Honestly, I would put Bud over him.
Mm-hmm. Shakur, Bud.
As far as the face, yeah.
Shakur, Tank is he reminds me of like the old school heavyweight boxers. Shakur is death by 1,000 cuts. He gonna technically whoop your ass the entire fight.
See, Tank got a lot of that Manny Pacquiao in him. You know what I mean? He quick with a lot of power in his hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Shakur Stevenson is Andre Ward. He ain't really gonna knock you out, but he can hit a penny. You know what I mean? Like he can hit wherever he want to hit on your. He gonna hit where he wants to. His accuracy, pinpoint, like you say, death by 1,000 cuts. He just gonna break you down, and he ain't necessarily got the power that those other guys got. But he, like Marvin said, he can take a counter puncher where Shakur kind of brings it to you and kind of, you know what I mean, is on the attack and doesn't really let you counter, man. But I think that, like you say, it's two totally different style fighters, so I think it'll be a great fight. Devin Haney and Devin Haney and Tank kind of got the same style. They both got, lead in their hands. They both punching with bombs. So that right there would just be toe to toe. Who got the stronger chin? But I kind of want to see the clash of styles. But either way, it'd be interesting.
Yeah. All right.
Can't see. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I gotta see it. It's hard for me to bet against Shakur, bro. But I will agree with what Zay said about the rehydration clause. Ryan Garcia shouldn't have agreed to that fight.
Hold on, yeah. Here it is. It said Garcia should have left the contract on the table. That rehydration clause screwed him. I missed that part. What was the rehydration clause?
Basically, you know how they do the weigh-in, and then you got to make weight for the weigh-in, then you can be in the ring at a different weight pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, the ring weight was the weigh-in weight. Like, that was, you wasn't, so, and Ryan Garcia is, he a little heavier than Tank. So he, he didn't get back to his, walk around weight or even closer to his walking around weight. So some people saying that affected him. I mean, obviously it would, if you're going in lighter than you normally are, but take some power off your punches, etc. But I don't really know how much that fact matters, but I still wouldn't have agreed to it. If I can't be 100%.
Yeah. I agree. Let's see. All right. You ready to do this altar call?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. I'll let you go first.
All right. I want to call down to the front the NBA and whoever deciding what suspensions and punishments and all that we doing for the playoffs. I understand why you suspended Draymond Green. I get it. You want to say he had a history, and his history is what made him get suspended. Understandable, cool. Joel Embiid also has a history. And Joel Embiid soccer kicked someone in the groin region, and he didn't get ejected or suspended. His teammate in the same game gets ejected for a hit to the groin region of another player, but it was in a basketball way, in a sense. I mean, we've seen those type of plays happen often on the basketball court with no suspension or ejection. So I'm trying to figure out why Harden got ejected there. And then later on in the game, Nick Claxton dunks on Embiid and basically just says some things, and he gets ejected. So there's no kind of consistency here. There's no kind of reasoning behind any of this other than, oh, we felt like suspending him, or we felt like his track record or his history played a part in his suspension. So Joe Dumars, you a 318 guy, but you're killing me right now, dog. And I don't really know what your train of thought is with this, Adam Silver. I don't know what you're doing, but if you're trying to keep your stars in the games, I mean, I can understand that, but then Draymond shouldn't be suspended because wherever they play, San Francisco, Draymond is a star. So he might not be a star to the rest of the country, but in his area, in his city, for his fan base, he's a star. And if you ain't suspending stars, Draymond is a star on the Warriors, so he shouldn't have been suspended neither. But y'all just need to get it together. We don't want to see this for the rest of the playoffs.
All right. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, man. But I want to talk about those NFL players that got suspended for gambling. We talked about, ways they could have avoided it. basically just going to a different facility, going down the road. But I do want to say this. Gambling is an addiction. Gambling can become an addiction, just like anything else. You do it a lot, you get addicted to it, it can become a problem. There are places you can go to get help. The National Gambling Helpline, you can call at 1-800-GAMBLER. And I know this may seem like a joke. I know we've talked about it before. I've made comments or jokes and stuff about parlays and stuff like that. It is easy to get wrapped up in gambling. It's also, I'm not going to make it seem like it's easy to walk away, but you have to put other things, saying, in perspective. You got to be able to realize that, hey, I may need to walk away. I've got better things that, saying, at risk. I got things at risk if I continue on this path. So for the NFL players, man, that are out there, the NBA players, the MLB players, if you look at it, man, there was an issue. Pete Rose lost his chance at being in the Hall of Fame because of gambling. Get help. That's all I can say, man. Get help. If you know somebody or you think somebody, one of your friends is possibly a addict, a gambling addiction, help, man. Speak to them. Please do. Just help people out, man. Because I know we joke about it. We talk about it. We talk about the parlays, but again, like I'm saying, I'm like, seriously, help people, man, because it is ruining families. People have lost their lives behind it. We know the jokes and stuff about the bookies and all that kind of stuff, but seriously, man, get help.
Wait a minute, I got another altar call.
Uh-oh.
It just came to my attention that Ryan Garcia has said the reason why he lost that fight was because he had a mole in his camp who was giving Javante Davis information.
Somebody posted that earlier. Somebody literally posted that in here earlier.
That's worse than your boy Deontay Wilder saying he lost because of his suit and his trainer was drugging him and all this kind of stuff. Man, you take your L like a man. You wasn't mad about no mole last night when you was dapping up Javante, taking pictures with him and glad I got a chance to fight this great and all this kind of stuff. Stop all that, man. Take that L like a man, bro.
Man, got to be more careful. Got to do better, man. Got to do better. But yeah. But
my bad, Jason. I didn't see your comment, but yeah.
That's who posted it. Yeah. Jason posted earlier.
Man, that dude tripping, bro.
I'm not even gonna get in there. Go there with you.
Oh boy.
Chuck said Randy Livingston talked about his gambling addiction and talked about how he seeks help. So yeah. That's it. Zay, I'm not that man. Literally, that man pulled up on somebody one day.
Oh boy.
I'm not finna get into that, boy. Nope, not me. Not me. But man, you got anything else?
All I will say is he from that area where I heard it be a bunch of them at. They say if you wear crimson with an A on in that area that you know.
Them people though. All right, man. Hey, before we get up out of here, man, I want to tell everybody thank y'all for tuning in. Look forward to, saying.
We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bring y'all the latest and greatest. We'll be back tomorrow with an episode of HBCU Hour. We'll actually have on he want to come in. Speaking of crackheads, he want to come in here starting mess late.
Boy.
But I do want to, we'll have Emory Hunt on helping break it down, possible HBCU players going in that could possibly see in the draft or make an NFL roster. So look forward to that. Nick, so boy, Nick was real quiet that guy after game one. He ain't say nothing.
He was quiet the second half of the season. I ain't tripping on that boy, man. Hey, the Pelicans doing like Watchtower and football season.
Well,
on that note,
we'll see y'all next. Well, we'll see y'all later this week, or maybe next week. We'll just see y'all. Just know we'll see you. We'll see you when you see you.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On YouTube at The Golden Boot Pod. On Facebook at The Golden Boot Pod.
Golden Boot!